Hey guys, I'm Kat Jovi and welcome to Top 10 Nerd. Superheroes are wildly powerful beings. They are often full of adrenaline from fighting and saving the world. They also have to team up often to beat extra difficult villains, so it's no wonder that some of them have gone astray now and then on their significant others. Some affairs fans have been waiting for and hoping for years and years and years, and others might be a bit of a shock. Some are rumors and some are rather blatant. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 superheroes who have had affairs. Get ready, it's gonna be like a soap opera. At number 10 we have Superman cheating on Lois Lane with a mermaid. Wait, what? I want like a record to be like I know, your mind is blown. I thought we'd start off with a bit of a fun one. So this is a way back playback. It's a little bit of a stretch, but hear me out. In Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane issue 30, Lois Lane visits a famous astronomer. And she's there for a story about his super fancy special telescope, and it has the power to see and hear activity on other worlds. They check it out, but the bad luck of it is that Lois ends up finding out that on a distant planet there's Superman and he has a wife and child who are mermaids. She's of course crushed. He's living a double life, and gosh, oh, a mermaid, how can I live up to a mermaid? It's kind of hilarious. But it turns out that it was actually just a look-alike. It was a robot. So whew, she can rest assured Superman's been keeping it in his pants so far. On number 9 we have Batman having an affair with Wonder Woman. At least it's suspected. Look, superheroes have morals, so they're actually a lot less likely to cheat on each other than you might think, but don't worry, hang with me. The true cheaters are coming. Number 1 and number 2 are doozies. In Batman issue 39, his faithfulness to Catwoman is tested. He and Wonder Woman go on a mission to a realm where time is different than it is back home. They go there to give someone else basically a break from fighting these endless evil hordes that keep trying to get into our realm. So an hour or two here is like a year there, so tons of time is passing, and Batman's always had a lot of respect for Wonder Woman, and being away from his betrothed for years and years and years during an endless battle with all this adrenaline, I mean something's bound to happen. In the final pages of the comic, they're talking about how they don't know if they'll ever be able to get out of the realm. You know, they're holding off these hordes and they don't know who's going to sort of take over for them, and in the final panel they're around this campfire and the warriors lean in all close. And then it ends. It's so juicy, you're like, ooh, give me the next one. At number 8 we have Gambit and Rogue. As a kid growing up, I watched a lot of X-Men, and I have to say Gambit and Rogue were my favorite. I loved their banter and I just had the biggest crush on Gambit. He was so cute. So he lies to Rogue a bunch of times throughout the years, but one bad one would be when he started things with Rogue while he was still married to Belladonna. I mean, that's pretty cut and dry. There are also rumors that he had something with Mini Mastiff in Gambit issue 25. However, Rogue and Gambit, they just break up so many times. It's like on again, off again, on again, off again. So it's kind of hard to keep it straight when they were together and when they weren't. So if it's cheating or if it's not, or are they on a break? I don't know, it's so dramatic. At number 7 we have Aquaman and MERA. They have a super dramatic relationship as well, but following a horrible event where one of their children dies in an adventure comic issue 452, she turns against her husband and goes all villain mode on him, and then she's sort of out of the picture. She is gone for a bit and he's there trying to keep things together, and he ends up turning to Dolphin. She's this genetically modified human that has Atlantean powers. So they're all, you know, doing their thing, and then this is what makes it extra juicy. She comes back and she walks in on them in the bed together. Gasp. But don't worry, you know, it all ends up working out, all is forgiven, la la la. At number 6 we have the Invisible Woman, aka Sue Storm. Now Mr. Fantastic is, well, you know, fantastic. He's super smart, he's saving the world all the time, but he's spending all those hours in the lab doing all the science. So it's no wonder that Sue maybe wanted to find some affection, some attention elsewhere. Not that I'm condoning this, but you know. So here's the story for you. buckle up. On their 40th anniversary, he has to step out to solve some huge thing, so he bails on her. So she goes out for a girls' night, and they're all drinking and having a great time, and she tells a story about a wild night in Wakanda. Heyo. She was really curious about the Black Panther back in the day. He sounds so mysterious and powerful and handsome, even though she's not seen him yet, but from description alone, she's like, sounds great. So they get there, he shows up, and he's actually attacking them, and she gets titillated apparently. It's a little turned on. Turns out Black Panther is just testing them to sort of see how formidable they are and see what kind of ally they would be. She continues the story and talks about how he was just so fast, like she couldn't even close her bubble in time. What about your old legs? Then she fast forwards. They're like, oh yeah, we know all this. So she fast forwards and he talks about this one night where she's walking around the castle, she's not able to sleep. Mr. Fantastic falls asleep working, or he's working. So she's walking around and she hears this music playing. She follows it and she sees it's Black Panther. He's chilling there playing piano, they're chatting, and then she says she can't sleep. So he suggests, I usually go for a stroll. And then, it's pretty dangerous out there because it's a jungle, so he should probably go with her. So they end up walking along through this beautiful jungle, past the Black Lagoon, where he explains, it's kept warm because they have this wonderful technology. And then he goes, hey, I'm gonna go for a dip. You wanna join? Obviously, no one brought a bathing suit, so now we have these superheroes, naked, swimming in this nice warm lagoon in the middle of this breathtaking, beautiful jungle. I mean, come on. So they're talking and they're kind of swimming and they're getting closer and closer. He asks her if she's married to Reed. She has a long pause and says yes, happily. And they're like right here about to kiss, and then he backs away and he's like, oh, we should get going. So he was a good man. He didn't want to go forward with it. So it's not true cheating, but very steamy, very sassy, and I mean, she shouldn't be putting herself in that position if Mr. Fantastic is her man, but good for them for backing away. I'm proud of them. She also shares some romantic kisses with the King of Atlantis. She thinks Mr. Fantastic is dead, maybe at some point, so that's when she kisses him, so a little sketchy. And then there was that one time with Dr. Doom, but he did alter reality, so maybe it's not really her bad. You can be the judge. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. At number 5, we have Barbara Gordon, or Batgirl. While she's with Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, in Batman Beyond 2.0, it comes to light that she's also having interludes with Batman. Now, Nightwing is out of town at this juncture, and maybe they're broken up, maybe not, maybe they're on a hold. Still, it starts to get something kind of serious happening here with Batman. They're having sex, they're seeing each other, she gets pregnant but doesn't know. Okay, and then this is when it gets really soap opera-y. So Nightwing gets back. She's 4 weeks pregnant, and then Nightwing and her start their relationship up again. Then a little bit later, she finds out she's pregnant. She tells Batman, he wants to be the one to tell Nightwing. Nightwing's pissed, beats the hell out of Batman, fair, and then she miscarries. My heartstrings. But don't worry, at number 4, we have Nightwing as the cheater, so you don't need to feel that bad for him. That's right, it turns out Nightwing has a dark past. In Nightwing issue 52, he and Catwoman keep crossing paths, and this is when she's with Batman, so during a shootout, their adrenaline's going, and then he's just not able to hold his feelings back any longer for Catwoman. So they lock lips. Now, it turns out that Catwoman sort of started leading him on to make Batman jealous, so she's not nice for doing that, but yo man, that's your buddy. No wonder he ends up kicking you out. At number 3, we have Mystique. Now I know usually she's more of a bad guy, but she also has bursts of being a superhero, so I'm fitting her in here. At one point, she ends up getting married to Baron Christian Wagner, an affluent member of the German nobility. He's a lovely husband, but apparently is kind of disappointing in the bedroom. Tough break. So Mystique is really wanting some satisfaction, as well as she wants to produce a child. So she starts using her shape-shifting powers in order to secretly have sexual encounters with others behind her husband's back. I mean, it's the ideal cheating power. It wasn't me. Look, it was whatever, George Clooney. She starts seeing Azazel, gets pregnant, and then her husband gets kind of suspicious because, you know, things haven't been happening. He's considering a DNA test, and then she just kills and buries him. Boom. Tough love Baron. Oof, oof. At number 2, I have to say Cyclops. And which do you choose? I would stay miles away from a relationship with old Scotty boy. He marries Jean Grey's clone after Jean dies, but he doesn't know it's a clone even though they look identical. I guess he figures this is the closest he's gonna get to the love of his life. So they have a child together. But then, turns out, Jean's not dead. So instead of doing the right thing and staying with his family, he just bails. He's like, I'm gonna go be with my one true love. Like, that softens it. Can I also mention the time that he then cheated on Jean Grey? That's right, he cheated on a mind reader. How stupid do you have to be? She can read your mind. So, I mean, he must have been magic in bed, because lots of women were about him, but he has a psychic affair with Emma Frost while he's still married to Jean. Tisk, tisk, Scotty, keep it in the pants. I mean, again, you can't feel that bad because at number 1, we have Jean Grey. There has always been this love triangle between Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Wolverine. So something was bound to happen there, but just wish she was being better than her man. I mean, she could be worse. I don't know. You guys be the judge. Let me know. Not only has she shared multiple passionate kisses with Wolverine on multiple occasions, but she's also locked lips with Hank, aka Beast. She also kissed Miles Morales, aka Spider-Man, in The Ultimate Adventure. Those lips have been getting around. Many of them are under extenuating circumstances, but we expect more from this fiery redhead. And there you have it, the top 10 superheroes who had affairs. Who do you think is the worst? Do you have a favorite affair story? Did I miss one that you really love? Do tell below. Put it in those bad boy comments down there. Feel free to subscribe, like, hit that little bell to make sure you get notifications. I'm Kat Jovi, and this has been Top 10 Nerd. Thanks so much for coming by.